Alright guys, so this was originally going to be a rapid response video, and the comment is coming from Pain Cage, who says, in your opinion, what are some of the best DC couples? And instead of making this a rapid response, I'm making it a full-length video because I think there is a lot more to talk about instead of making this an 8-10-minute video. So guys, for this video, I'm doing it with my lovely girlfriend, Hannah, who many of you have seen on this channel before or even my podcast. We're gonna go through our top 10 couples list of DC. I, of course, have my fair share of knowledge of DC couples. Hannah, you know, she knows some here and there.
Just a little bit.
I have a feeling, though, that you just kind of looked up couples and what you saw is what you liked.
That's exactly what I did.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go from 10 to 1, 10 being our least favorite of our top 10, and then 1 being the ultimate, the best. Starting with my number 10, I'm actually going with Superman and Lana Lang. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah,
Who's Lana?
You don't know? See, she doesn't know who Lana. This is what we're doing here.
I know who Lois is.
Clark knew Lana before Lois. He went to school with Lana. They've been friends since they were like children.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, Lana Lane?
Lana Lang.
Oh, what the hell?
I gotta be real here because I don't want anyone waiting in anticipation for it. I do not have Superman or Lois together on this list at all.
Oh.
I do not like Superman and Lois. I think they are the most boring cookie cutter relationship out there, and I cannot stand the lost puppy dog thing with Lois. I hate relationships like that, and I can't stand theirs.
Judging by how this is already going to go, I know I'm going to get some hate because I don't understand most of these couples. Just for the sake, because I don't really know these people. Flash specifically, I think it's Wally West and Linda Park.
Oh wow.
Oh, you know what? I do have notes. I don't like the whole trope of a superhero with a non-superhero. In my brain, I feel like a superhero needs to be with another superhero.
I agree. Like, once again, Superman and Lois, I do find it to be boring. Now, there is a particular level. Like, Superman and Wonder Woman, I think is one of the worst couples to ever exist. I think that is even more boring than a superhero with a regular human. It's too on the nose. It's like obviously. Superman and Lana I do like because of their long-standing friendship that they've had since they were children. There is history there. And I understand there's a lot of interpretations where Superman or Clark Kent has basically denied Lana, like, hey, I don't feel for you that way, but Lois Lane I do, who's practically the exact same character in a lot of ways. If there was like a situation, something bad was going on in Metropolis, and both Lana and Lois were hanging off the edge of a building, I wouldn't even think about Lois. I'd go right over for Lana. Easy money.
This is not a good one.
Oh, you did them in random orders? Oh, okay.
No. Well,
7, 4, 3.
It's not in order.
Okay, for number 9, I'm going with Joker and Harley Quinn. Still on my top 10. I appreciate them a lot because of who they are as characters, but they're not breaking the top 5. Think about it. Their relationship is awful. Can you even say that it's a good relationship? No, because it's filled with abuse and assault and just mental torture. Physical torture, too. It's not a good relationship. However, the reason why it's on my top 10 is because I appreciate what both characters mean to the culture of comic books and DC. And I also appreciate how well they were done in the animated series.
To any of you couples that say that you're Joker and Harley Quinn,
don't
quit it.
Don't
stop it.
Stop being like, oh, me and my boyfriend or me and my girlfriend, we're like Joker and Harley. That's awful then. That's terrible.
My number 9 is Aquaman and Mira.
Okay.
My note is he cheated.
Yeah, it depends. It depends.
My only knowledge of these two is the Aquaman movie. And maybe like Turd Herd kind of ruined Mira for me. Is it Mira?
Mara. It's all right. We'll let it go. It's cool. Mara. Even I don't know too much about Aquaman. He's not one of my favorite characters. However, biggest cheating scandal the character's ever been part of was when he cheated on Mara with Wonder Woman. Is that what you're thinking here?
I think so. I think that's what I read.
Okay.
And it almost started like World War III.
It's what happened when Flash went back in time to save his mother, and it ruined everything. Aquaman was clapping cheeks with Wonder Woman, and Mara found out, so then Wonder Woman cut her head off, and that's what caused the war. Aquaman got his, you know what I'm saying? For 8, I'm going to have to explain it a little bit. It is a Robin with Batgirl / Oracle. I could easily sit here and say that Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon have had relationships with each other. We've seen that in comic books many times. Although I would not go with Dick Grayson's Robin or even his Nightwing in the future, it would be Tim Drake. Why I say that is because when you play the Arkham games, Tim Drake is a little bit of an older Robin who actually marries Barbara at the end of Arkham Knight, as I'm pretty sure you saw when I played the game. I like the idea of their relationship mainly from the point of view of the game. I think it works really well.
My 8 was Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Very good. I'm glad to see that was on the top 10. Yeah.
My notes are, I don't know, kids, divorce, blah, blah, looks hot together.
Once again, I'm not an overly big fan of Green Arrow. However, he hit the jackpot with Dinah. They are very consistent, and that's why I like them.
They got divorced and then they got back together, right?
That has happened before.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Hey, they knew they loved each other. For my number 7, I'm going with Green Lantern Hal Jordan and Star Sapphire, which is Carol Ferris. I do like the idea that both of them knew each other before either of them became lanterns in the first place. When Carol became a lantern, she was actually a villain for a little while, and Hal had to like pull her back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was basically abducted by an alien race. She was propped up as their queen, and then they gave her a pink ring, and then she utilized the Pink Lantern Corps, and then Carol had to like find her way back to being good again.
My 7 is Superman and Lois Lane.
-7?
-7?
Yeah, like on a top negative list.
+7.
Yeah.
Pretty Boy, Damsel in Distress. Okay, next. It's so like universal, like, oh, can you be the Lois Lane of my Superman? It's nice, but that's it. And again, I don't really like superheroes with non-superheroes. So I know. I knew he was going to be disappointed with us.
Now for my number 6, a lot of people are going to be very surprised with this because considering how much I love Batman, it's not in the top 5. I do have Batman and Catwoman at number 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually, based off of a conversation we had in the Catwoman Unpopular Opinions video, a lot of us were talking about how we're sick and tired of this back and forth relationship of Batman and Catwoman. One minute they're together, the next they're not, the next they're getting married, the next she's pregnant, then the next the continuity gets rechanged. Yeah, the continuity changes and everything's just back to a different type of normal. Really annoying, really frustrating. Why I still have them on the list is because I still respect the idea of what Batman and Catwoman mean to one another and how they can actually be together. I do like the idea of it.
My number 6 is Joker and Harley Quinn. Traditional toxic relationship, no love here. That's
precisely
that's
it.
literally it.
Is that your notes?
Yep.
Those are good notes. Those are good notes.
Now, if this was like the best DC villain couples, number 1.
If the point to be a villain is to be chaotic, is to cause anarchy, no one's better than them.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Breaking my top 5, and we don't really need to talk about this one too much because we already have Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just think they are in a lot of ways a perfect match.
Vanilla.
Yeah, maybe a little vanilla, but they still have their struggles and their faults. But what's great about them is they always find a way to come back together.
Maybe this is a little left field, but whatever, we're going to go with it. So it's Harley Quinn.
Oh, I already know.
So it's Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I figured.
No, it's friends to lovers. And then she also helped her like move away from the Joker.
Excuse me. Okay, for number 4, I'm going with Nightwing and Starfire. I'll clarify a little bit more. Dick Grayson and Starfire.
Okay.
Because the Teen Titans cartoon really hammered home how much they like each other. Yeah. And I think as kids growing up, we loved it. We loved that relationship. Especially a lot of the comics from the 70s and 80s, they really focused on the importance of Nightwing and Starfire's relationship, and it worked. This idea of an acrobatic carnival performer who lost his parents as a kid and is somehow getting with a Tamaranian prince or princess, you know, it's insane. Like, just the complete opposites, and they found each other. I think it's really cool.
I have for my number 4 is Batman and Catwoman. I basically find them like one and the same person, but then you have like the juxtaposition that he's super rich.
Big word.
I know. I learned it 10 minutes before this video.
Holy crap. Wow. Okay.
Whereas, like, he's super rich and she's super poor. So it's like, okay, like, that kind of fits. But their superhero personas fit, but Bruce and Selena don't fit.
Fair enough. And I think if you actually look at the two characters, you mentioned, like, money and no money. Bruce is rich, but would have no care in the world if he went poor.
Yes. Yeah.
Selena is poor,
but
would care if she became rich.
Yeah, there you go. Again, they're basically the same person, but I don't know. Their similarities are...
there's something...
Or no.
The audience gets it. I get it. You get it. We good. On to number 3.
Oh, my brain hurts.
So for my number 3, and I do have a little bit of bias towards this, it's Raven and Beast Boy.
I was gonna put them on my list. I think 4 or 3. That was my favorite couple watching the show.
I don't blame you.
Everyone was like, no, Robin Starfire. Mine was Raven and Beast Boy.
Because there's a clear total opposite between the two characters. Beast Boy is colorful and spunky, and he likes to have fun. Whereas Raven's a little depressed, a little sad, keeps to herself, and Beast Boy's breaking her out of that mold. Now, why I said bias, Beast Boy is just Beast Boy to me. He's there. He's a cool character. I don't mind him. Raven, I don't know if you know this, is actually in my top 10 DC characters of all time. I think she is so cool. So that's a little reason why it's in my top 3.
So my number 3 is Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yes, let's go. I'm just happy it's in a top 3. That's awesome. I love it.
They're well balanced, but they also bring out each other's side. I just feel like they're both like strong people, but she has more a little bit of a softer side to her that she can bring out in him, and then he has kind of like that, you know, hardened personality.
They're also very independent, so whereas they could fall in love, they're also their own people. They know how to live without one another if it's required. For my number 2, and a lot of people are gonna be shocked, they're not gonna see this coming, I have Black Adam and Isis. The reason why I have them at number 2 is because they are like a true power couple. Black Adam's like a god, she's a goddess. They both have extraordinary power. They rule Kahndaq. Like, how much better of a power couple can you actually get than these two? Why I love the relationship is because the aftermath of the relationship. It does end, but it doesn't end in breakup. It actually ends in death.
Oh my
and
Lord.
Isis does die. What it does to Black Adam is the absolute rage fuel this guy goes on. He basically starts World War III after. It is such a great event. It's such a good story. And whereas he's ethically wrong in doing so, you can see how much love he truly had for her.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I was just thinking, you know, maybe my 2, my 3 are flip-flop, but I don't know. Nightwing and Batgirl.
I don't hate that either. Like, I genuinely do not dislike Dick and Barbara. I just prefer him with an alien.
Wait, is Nightwing always Dick Grayson?
Yes.
Can I choose Tim Drake and Barbara?
Like I did?
Yeah. Oh, my brain hurts.
I'm pretty sure Tim Drake and Barbara have only ever happened in the Arkham games.
You know what? I think that's what I was thinking. Because I was obviously like reading about it and stuff. But I was like, okay, I remember seeing this and I was drawing conclusions. Anyways, I said that they're friends, cute, innocent, and they fell in love. I'm putting it on the record. That's my 3. Batman and Wonder Woman are
2. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll flip-flop it. Now that you moved Batman and Wonder Woman to your 2, it's actually very fitting because for me, Batman and Wonder Woman are my number 1. The reason for this is because of the Justice League animated series. I think Batman and Wonder Woman are the almighty, absolute best couple that could ever exist in DC. And the only reason why comic writers have not actually gone with it and stuck with it is because they know it would be too good. The minute they do it, they know there's nothing better. They know that, let's break them up and have Batman go back to Vicky Vale and have Wonder Woman go to Steve Trevor. That's cool. Think about it. Think about it. It just makes sense. Bloody rich. They own their own continent, the Amazon.
Yeah,
right?
They do.
Their child would not only inherit Wayne Enterprises, but they would be a god. They would be a demigod at the very least. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's too perfect, and that's you know?
It is too perfect.
But like you were saying earlier about Batman and Wonder Woman, I think they just mentally complement each other very, very well. But I also think they could complement each other physically too.
This is a little interesting. My number 1 is Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Whoa! Wow, I was not expecting that.
Knew it.
Why?
This one I did a little bit more reading just because I was like, oh, who is this couple? First of all, how can you not match them up? Hawkgirl, Hawkman.
They're from the same planet.
They're from the same planet. Yeah. Their love is tied in destiny. It's so good that it makes people sick. And I love that.
Okay. All right.
I love that. I think it's the animated Justice League. She actually ends up with one of the Green Lanterns.
John Stewart.
Yeah.
They were starting a fling. You end up finding out that she's actually betrothed to Hawkman. And then, it screws everything up. In Justice League Unlimited, she comes back and tries to play sweet with John. And John has a soft spot for her. Or a hard spot for her. Yeah, you get yours, boy. You get yours.
Setting that whole thing aside and just like those two together, that's my number 1.
Well, they're not on my top 10, but I appreciate the difference because they're not a bad couple at all. Well, there you go. That is our top 10 lists of best DC couples, of course, in our opinion. I think there are some other great couples that we just, didn't get around to mentioning. Mm-hmm. I think Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart from the cartoon are awesome. That's an honorable mention. Even though I do personally think they're a little too vanilla for me. Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, I think they're an honorable mention as well. I think there's a couple out there that we didn't mention that I'm sure some of you would have on your list. So feel free to comment below. Let us know what your list would look like. If you don't want to do a top 10, give us your top 5. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that's all we have for you on this one. Thank you for watching. And until next time, we will talk to you all very soon. Peace, guys.